So we're going to be working with the element of earth tonight. So incorporating some of the stuff we did last week, because I kind of practiced it again and it felt a lot better the second time around. So I'm going to be getting you, as we always do, to begin into our semi-supine position. So just ease yourselves down to the floor. You can use a brick if you wish behind the head or not, your choice. So as I join you down there, first thought is to start to become aware of your connection to the earth. And I think about the earth as being your connection, not just to the floor, but to anything that's attached to the floor. So, sometimes we think of if you sit in a chair, can you be connected to the earth? Well, yes, you can, providing that you're sat into your sit bones and the chair is connecting to the earth. So you're still kind of transmitting that energy through the spine from the feet on the floor and the bottom on the seat. So in this position, though, in this semi-supine position, you've got lots of connection to the earth. And I would say this is one of the best ways to connect. So not only have you got the back of the head connecting, you've got the shoulders, backs of the shoulder blades, you've got the sacrum, you might even have left and right sides of the spine, and of course you've got the feet. And as we begin the practice this evening, all I'm going to get you to do is just pop your hands onto your belly. So as you breathe in, just gently allow the breath to be drawn into the belly so that as the breath comes in, it feels like your belly is lifting up into your hands. And as you breathe out, allow the belly to drop away from the hands as the breath leaves the body. So we're just kind of concentrating for this first few moments on just this sense of using the breath to move into a pelvic tilt, this very lowest part of the spine. So what you're going to notice is that as you breathe in, the belly rises, the back of the waist will be drawn off the floor. You'll move into that feminine relationship with the earth. And as you breathe out, the belly falls, the spine lengthens, and you could even invite weight into the feet and into the back of the shoulder blades at that point. So just take a few more of those really grounding movements in through the lower back. So making the next one your last one, just like this, breathing out. As you breathe out, release the hands. Now we're going to change the movement a little bit further up the spine. So what I'm going to do is start to curl my fingers back, as if I'm drawing my fingernails towards my wrists. And then I'm going to take my arms up and overhead so that as my arms extend, my fingernails are going to reach to the floor first. And then as I exhale, I'm going to extend through my fingers and lead with my fingers, reaching forward with the tips of my fingers to bring my hands as close towards the feet as I can. So I'm going to move through that position, using the fingernails to guide the movement, which will be a strong feminine, but much more at the back of the ribs. And then as you reach into your masculine, feel that you can send the back of the ribs down to the earth. And if you keep reaching, you might even find that you can start to draw the head, neck, and shoulders off the floor without even trying that hard. Breathing in, of course, you'd release the head, neck and shoulders back to the floor as you slide the fingernails, bending into the wrists, and then reach through the hands. Sometimes I visualize that I'm trying to touch something, probably about the line of when I get my fingertips about down by my thighs. Can I then use that extension to reach my head, neck and shoulders off the floor? If you can't, don't worry, or if you don't want to do that, it's absolutely fine. We're going to do one more time. Either reaching the fingers on the exhale towards the feet, or once they hit around about the line of the thighs, start to reach a little bit more through the fingertips and see if it draws the back body off the floor. Next time you take the arms up and overhead into that feminine, you're actually going to bring just the arms back, and as the arms come back down by the side, you're going to lengthen the spine to the floor. Because then from that position, I'm going to invite the weight into my right leg and just slide the left knee into the chest. I'm going to take my fingernails onto the knee joint. So I literally just my left fingernails. As I inhale, I'm just going to allow that knee to be drawn forward until my arm lengthens. That's my inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to draw the knee back to the chest. I'm just literally using fingernails. You could even just use one finger. So you're just taking, it's almost like you're doing a pelvic tilt on one side. Yes, I'm just pelvic tilting into my left side. Again, that very grounding movement, that very releasing movement through the back of the body. Now, next time I bring that left knee back to the chest, I'm going to stay with my left leg. I'm going to release my finger from the knee, and we're going to extend the heel into the ceiling. Same as we did last week, that thought of lengthening up through the heel and releasing into the hip. But this time, we're going to point the toes, and then we're going to lower that leg diagonally down towards the floor. So grounding through that left side of the body, connecting with the core, and eventually lowering the leg to the floor. As the leg releases to the floor, I want you to flex the foot, and then inhale, lift the leg back up to the ceiling again. Okay, so we're just going to move with that positioning. So pointing the toes, lowering the leg. So we're just now connecting to the core a little bit more. Really feel that you can extend through the toes or the ball of the left foot as you lower down, and then reach into the heel as you lift up. Let's do two more. Reaching through the ball of the foot, extending, lengthening, finding that length down through the left side, and then flexing the foot, drawing the leg back to the, pointing the heel to the ceiling position. Okay, we're going to do one more. Connect to the core, and then inhale, heel to the ceiling. And then from there, bend the knee back to the chest. And this time just just extend the left leg out. Sorry, start again, Jules. Extend the right leg out. So left knee to the chest, right leg extended. So we're going to move into osteopath from here. So I'm hoping at this point you've released the hip flexor enough so that you can place the left foot onto the right thigh. Obviously avoiding the knee. If you can't get the foot onto the thigh, take it onto the shin. From there, I'm going to slide my left arm out in line with my shoulder, and I'm going to guide my left leg over to the right using my right hand. Now, once I've guided that left knee over to the right, I'm going to bend into my right knee a little bit so I can dig the heel in, and then I'm going to tuck that right hip under as I take that twist. A little bit deeper. You're going to feel it into the left side of the body. Now we're going to be working a little bit on the quads, just as we did last week. So I'm going to sort of put this in place as a little test. So what I'm going to ask you to do from this position is slide the right heel towards the bottom, just as far as you can. And then maybe extend the left hand down to meet the right foot. Now, if you can't reach for the foot, don't worry. If you can, pick up the foot, but just notice where you're at. How far away are you from taking that quad stretch? Or if you've got a hold of the right foot, how does the quad stretch feel? Because we're going to be doing it again at the end of the practice, just to see if it's changed. See if we feel any different in this, what is known as cat's tail position. So after a few moments, maybe deepening the stretch if you wish. It's a bit like standing dancer position. I'm just going to let go of the right foot, extend the right leg out, release my hands and slide back into semi-supine. Just placing the left foot down to the floor as if I'm placing that left foot into soft golden sand. And from that point, I'm hoping you can really feel that you're softer on the left side than the right. We're going to repeat all those moves now on the right leg. So I'm going to begin by sliding the right knee into the chest, placing my fingertips on that right knee, or maybe just one finger. As I inhale, I'm going to send the right leg away, extending the arm, and as I exhale, slide the knee to the chest. So now just think about this movement prompting this pelvic tilt purely on the right side. Just activating into this sense of grounding, of melting into the floor. So we'll take two more. And then the next time the right knee comes to the chest, we'll change the movement to a leg extension. So release the hand, extend the right heel to the ceiling. Feel that softening in the right hip and the extension through the heel, and then point into the ball of the foot or point the toes and lower the leg down as you exhale. It goes down towards the floor on a leg extension. Engage in the core, flex the foot, breathing in, let the leg reach back to the ceiling again. Keep going like that, extending through the ball of the foot, feeling that kicking in of the core movement on the right side, and then reach through the heel and maintain the core connection, sliding the heel to the ceiling. Just got another two more of those to do. Nice fluid movement with the breath. And then the next time that heel slides to the ceiling, point the toes or neutralize the foot and release the right knee to the chest. From there, extend the left leg and let's prepare ourselves for osteopath twist. Placing the right foot onto the left thigh, sliding the right arm out in line with the shoulder. And as you exhale, guiding that right leg over to the left, remembering that you're attempting to get as much twist out of the body as you can without releasing the right shoulder from the floor. So feel that you can dig into the heel, soften the knee a little bit and just tuck that left hip under. So you're easing yourself into that lovely osteopath twist. Whole of the left side of the body, lengthening to the floor. You might just feel that little side extension on the right side. Let's keep softening into the right, and then when you're ready, if you want to add in the cat's tail, just slide the left heel towards the bottom, and then roll that right hand down to meet potentially the left foot, or maybe not. Don't force it, don't push it, you're just going to cramp. So if you're happy there, maybe start to deepen the stretch by reaching the hand further to the ankle. If you've not got hold of the foot, it's absolutely fine. You may have by the end of the practice. Once I've completed this position, the next exhale, I'm going to release the left foot. I'm going to ease back, bringing the right knee to the chest. And then from here, I'm going to take a lovely full body stretch. So I'm going to extend both legs, reach both arms alongside of the ears, and then I'm going to take this into that banana side stretch. So I'm going to take the left ankle, cross it over the right ankle, reach for the left wrist with the right hand. Now remember, I'm trying to soften this left side of the body to the earth, even as I attempt to move the arms and the hands to the right and the legs and the feet to the right. The left side of the body is releasing to the earth. And that sounds a little bit as if you're kind of working in a juxtaposition, which you are. You're kind of trying to soften into the whole of the left side and use the extension to feel that softening and lengthening. So a couple of breaths in that lovely banana position, Bananasana. And then breathing in from there, undo the legs, slide the legs and the arm back to the center, undo the hands, and then reach for the right wrist with the left hand, crossing the right ankle over the left ankle, and then keep softening the right shoulder blade, the right side of the spine, and the right sit bone to the floor, whilst lengthening the right arm out to the left and shifting the legs a little bit to the left as well. So just kind of trialing that desire to extend, but at the same time soften. From this position, we're going to gently release, slide back to the middle, undo the arms and undo the legs. And then from here, I'm going to take it into that alternative way of picking myself up off the floor. So with my arms, I'm going to slide them out to a T position. My legs are going to stay straight. I'm then going to turn my palms down and keep sliding my hands down towards my hips. Now, eventually that will start to lift my head, neck, and shoulders off the floor. So if I'm drawing my arms in this circle towards my hips, and it will peel me up into a seated Dandasana position. How graceful was that? Okay, from that Dandasana position, let's slide the hands to the heart center. Breathing in, and as you exhale, press the palms wide. So now we're grounding through our sit bones. We're going to breathe in at this point, and as we exhale, we're going to twist to the left. And you'll feel as you twist to the left that the right leg is getting longer and the left leg is getting shorter. So slide that left heel towards the sit bone, place the left hand behind, and wrap the right arm around the front of the left shin. So in that lovely twist, again, thinking about reaching into that left foot. Maybe if you press into the left foot, you can rotate the rib cage a little bit more so that maybe you can turn and look behind you. Okay, let's repeat that on the opposite side. So slide out with the arms, turn and twist back to the center. Keep the arms extended, twist to the right. Notice that it feels that the right leg is getting shorter, the left leg's getting longer, and continue taking the right hand behind to slide the right heel towards the sit bone and twist to the right. Nice. Now again, can you invite that little bit of weight into the right foot and get a bit more rotation from the center of the body, maybe even a little bit of turn in the chest so you can turn the head and neck, gazing out behind you. Then from there, easing back to the center, to Dandasana, legs extended. And from there, we're just going to do a lovely sweep of the legs out to the side so that we can come onto all fours. So once we're on all fours, we're going to take that full sort of cat sequence. So as we exhale, we're going to drop into cat, let the head and neck release. Keep the head and neck release and take an inhale. And then as you exhale, draw the chin to the chest, knit the rib cage, lift the front pubis, take angry cat. And from angry cat, move the bottom all the way to the heels before dropping the forehead to the floor. Remember, as you roll the imaginary marble, top tip, take the elbows to hover off the floor. Roll the chest along the floor, rolling the marble with the nose, and then sliding the elbows in to prompt the top chest to lift forward and up into up facing cat. Let's do that one more time. We'll drop the cat. And then we'll reach into our angry cat. So chin to chest, knit the ribs, lift the lower belly. Now you'll notice that when you're in angry cat, you've probably got a lot of stretch into the top chest area, the back of the rib cage area, but not very much in the lower spine. So just take this angry cat back, bottom to heels. It doesn't make it wrong. It's good for stretching out the whole of the spine. Roll the marble along the floor. Draw the elbows in, lift to that up facing cat. But this time, keep that sense of reaching forward. I'm just going to lift up with my lower belly. So I'm flattening my back. I'm just going to pick up my brick and place it across the shoulder blades or somewhere there. Across the shoulder blades, somewhere between the shoulder blades and the back of the waist, not behind the neck. Now I'm only putting it there because I want to keep that back stable. I don't want to round in my upper back. I just want to make this little kitten movement. Do you remember all we're doing basically is a pelvic tilt on all fours. So we're not rounding the upper back, we're just sliding the tail in between the legs, almost as if, yeah, we've just got a little string attached to Mula Bandha, and it's being drawn under, and then it's being lengthened out behind. Good. Okay, a couple more times. A little bit more focus on this lumbar spine area, because that's what connects us to the earth. Next time you take the masculine in that lumbar spine area, draw the bottom to the heels. Feel that you're lengthening out. I'm kind of in a sort of up-facing child position. And then from here, because I'm going to go into down dog, I'll take the brick away just for now. Extend my arms a little bit further forward. And then tucking the toes under, making sure my head and neck are relaxed. Peeling up into down dog. Just that first little transition. Maybe just walking out the dog. Just awakening the back of the legs. Making it slow so you're not just doing this as a kind of rite of passage. You're really feeling the movement, reaching through the heel, softening in the hip. And then from there, we're going to soften through the feet. This time I'm going to walk my feet forward towards my hands. As my feet ease towards my hands, I'm going to flatten my back. Ardha Uttanasana. And then from here, I'm going to swoop my arms out behind me. We're going to lift up through the legs this time, reaching down through the feet, drawing those arms in big circles all the way up to the sky. And then as I exhale, softening my shoulders, just bringing my hands into prayer position down in front of my heart. So we're going to do a little vinyasa called Salute to the Earth. We'll go through it quite slowly. We'll do it a couple of times. So we start in Tadasana position, feet hip distance apart. And before I do that, what I wanted to show you was that when you're doing this full movement, and it's a kind of back bend, I want you to keep your knees bent. So just have a little trial with me. If I bend my knees, I've got quite a lot of pelvic tilt movement. So think of that kitten we were just doing in cat position. I've got quite a lot of movement with my knees bent. If I choose to have straight legs or extended legs, I've got much less movement in my pelvis. Now, again, they're not wrong or right, but when we're doing this particular vinyasa, we take this quite feminine front opening position. It's a bit like doing bridge standing. So you want as much rotation, as much flexibility from that lower back as you can. So I want you to keep your knees bent. So you know the first bit. From this position, standing, you've got your hands at the heart, you're going to bend into your knees. You're going to inhale, take your masculine pelvic tilt, open up through the front of the body, maybe gaze up to the thumbs, maybe not. And as you exhale, you're going to hinge forward. Uttanasana, hands clasped behind the back, reaching up towards the ceiling. You can keep the knees soft, let the head and neck relax. Then you're going to bend into the knees, bring the fingertips in line with the toes, and step that right leg back. I'm dropping my right knee. I'm going to take crescent lunge, reaching, inviting weight into my left foot, and bringing my arms in this lovely V-shaped position. As I exhale, I'm going to flow forward, hands either side of the foot again, and step it into down facing dog. Again, I'm taking that transit through dog, back into cat, so dropping my knees down, bringing my bottom in line with my knees, and then I'm going to bring melting heart as my next move. So I'm sliding my arms out in front, but my bottom stays in line with my knees. Forehead to the floor, maybe stage one. Or if you want to go deeper, by all means, drop the chin, release the chest to the floor, keeping that length through the front of the body. Melting heart, or up puppy sometimes so called. From there, I'm going to slide my hands back a little bit because I want to take downward facing dog from here. So back into downward dog. Lifting up through that front pubis, letting the head release, and then sliding the right leg into three-legged dog, leading with the heel. Trying to connect the heel to the left shoulder. And then as you exhale, draw that right knee up to the chest, take the gaze forward to the hands, and then step that right foot through into lunge. Really grounding through that right foot. Let's draw the left foot next to the right foot. You're in Ardha Uttanasana, and then fold into full Uttanasana, head to shoe. Bend the knees again, extend and lift the chest, swoop the arms away, open above the head, gaze up to the thumbs, and as you exhale, slide the hands down to the heart. We're going to do all that on the other side. Softening into the knees, lifting that front pubis, that masculine position, opening up the front of the body, think bridge standing. As you exhale, bring the hands back down through the heart, clasp the hands behind the back, and fold forward Uttanasana. Inhale, flatten the back, fingers in line with the toes, step back, left leg, drop that left knee down. Release the toes if you wish, invite the weight into the ball of the right foot and reach the arms up into crescent lunge. If you want to take it further, keep inviting weight into the ball of that front foot, lengthen the pelvis forward. Lovely job. As you exhale, bring the hands back either side of that front foot. You're stepping and transitioning through downward dog. From downward dog, you're then going to take back to cat. Knees in line with the bottom. You're going to walk the hands forward into mountain heart. So again, just noticing that release through the front of the chest, that grounding, even through the upper part of the body. Lovely job. Take a few breaths there, feeling those shoulder blades sliding down the back. And then from there, just sliding the hands back a little bit so that you can then progress back through down facing dog. Once you're there, reach into the left heel, slide the left heel out into three-legged dog. And then draw the knee to the chest, exhale. Gently step that left foot through between the hands. You can drop the right knee if you need to. And then stride in, Ardha Uttanasana, full Uttanasana. Softening into the knees, sliding the arms up and out to the side, press the palms together. And as you exhale, draw the hands down in front of the heart. So I promise we'd just do a couple of repetitions from last week. The first one I'd like you to do, we're not doing them all. First one I'd like you to do is with the brick. So it's that one where we did the hamstring movement. So I'm just going to place the ball of my left foot against the brick, or you don't have to use the brick, you could just do it without. My right knee, I'm going to bend it, and I'm going to bring my hands to the right thigh. I'm going to keep my chest lifted a little bit, slide my toes towards my knee, so I'm not gripping the brick with my toes. And then I'm going to do this micro bend and release on my left leg. So I'm micro bending the left knee, and then I'm extending the left leg by lifting up with the sit bone and lengthening, pressing down into the heel. So it's a micro bend. I'm just trying to demonstrate what I'm doing here. My sit bone is lifting and my heel is reaching down as a micro extend. What I'm not doing is pushing the back of the knee out. So I'm lengthening and softening. Okay, I'm going to do one more time. From there, I'm going to release the leg, come into standing, maybe give the legs a little shake out. That right leg's going to feel quite as though you've worked it quite strongly. And then I'm changing legs. So same thing, right ball of the foot onto the brick, or not. You can just take the toes and draw them towards the body. I'm bending my left knee, my hands are on my left thigh. Remember, it's a micro bend. And instead of locking the knee out on this right side, I'm lifting into my bottom and reaching down into my heel. So it's a very subtle difference, but it's really going to make a difference to the relationship of the hamstring to the hip and the front of the quad. Okay, I'm going to do one more time. From there, I'm bending into that front knee, standing up, giving the legs a little shake out. And I don't remember, many moons ago, we might have to do it again at some point, we did the rolling of the balls on the feet. And that's kind of similar to what is happening into the body right now. So you're going to feel that you are really being absorbed by the floor with these movements. Now, the second movement that we're going to repeat from last week is the one where we lift onto the balls of the feet and then we lower down for the count of 10. So if you found that you needed some support somewhere, like a wall or a piece of furniture, please do. Some of you found that it made it a little bit easier if you were able to squeeze the brick between the thighs and really connect to the inner thigh. So if you want to use the brick between the thighs, that's also an option. I'm just going to show you what I mean. We're going to do it together. I'm going to breathe in, come onto the balls of my feet, and then I'm lowering for the count of 10. It's a micro lower 9, 8, 7. I'm extending my feet, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then eventually releasing down, absorbing the earth. Okay, I want you to do it twice more, with or without the brick, your choice. Breathing in onto the balls of the feet. Soften the shoulders, you can use the arms. Lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, turn the inner thigh, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Okay, one more time. Really try hard not to grip the floor with the toes. So try and be kind to your toes. Breathing in, lifting up onto the balls of the feet. I'm going to watch you this time. Low for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. I'm hoping it's got a little bit easier than last week. Once you feel that you can really ground into the floor, we're going to do that vinyasa again, but just add in a couple more bits. So I want you to step forward to the front of the mat again. Bring the hands into prayer. Soften into the knees. Breathing in. Take that lovely front opening. Maybe you can release a little bit further, and then as you exhale, counterpose it with a forward bend, clasping the hands behind the back, lengthening out. Breathing in, soften into the knees, bring the fingertips and step that right leg back. From there, drop the knee to the floor. Now it's up to you. Toes tucked under or release the toes. Take crescent lunge. And then from this position, we're going to take the twist. So a little bit like we did in Dandasana. So you're going to take your arms wide, in line with the shoulders. You're going to twist to the left. So twisting around towards the bent knee. From there, you're going to take a little bit like Stop the Bus. So you can bring your left hand onto your left hip, take your right arm forward, and then see if you can slide the right elbow outside of the left leg. Now I'm going to turn my palm to face up in that offering position, and maybe bring my left hand on top of my right hand. Now I can either stay like this, which is very nice, or I can tuck my back toes under and see if I can lift up into full twisting side angle position. Now again, you need to think about where your head is in line with the spine. Spinning that rib round a little bit more, so the right side of the ribs really spinning around. And then maybe some of you want to take that out a little bit deeper, lowering the right hand to the floor, extending the left arm to the ceiling. Where is your head though? Is it feeling in line with the spine? From there, well done, you're going to ease out, bring the hands either side of that front foot, and then step back into downward facing dog. Noticing the difference between right and left leg. Couple of breaths there, make sure the head and neck is relaxed, and you're lengthening fully through that left side. From that position, you've got two options. First option, bend the knees and come up. Well, let's all do that. Come on to all fours. So your first option would be melting heart, just like we've done the previous 2 rounds. Second option is 8-point position. Now, if you want to do 8-point position, you're going to take plank pose first. Then you're going to lower the knees, chest, and chin. So I'm going to move that brick away so you can see me. It's a bit like chaturanga with the bottom in the air. Oh, sorry, Ardha Chaturanga with the bottom in the air. Does strange things to your voice. And then from there, we're going to lengthen out onto the front of the body, wherever you are. Rest the forehead on the hands. So we've got two options here. First option, you can bend the left knee to the bottom, reach for the left foot with the left hand, and take that quad stretch from being on your front. Or you can reach into the hands, slide onto the elbows so that you're in Sphinx. And I quite like this version. Spinning on the right elbow, so the right hand faces the left, bringing your left arm out behind you, and as you spin around, placing your left hand onto your left foot and taking that full quad stretch, bending the left elbow into the air. Now I've got my hand on top of my foot. So again, lots of different options. If you don't want to do any of those, just lie on your front and kick the heels to the bottom. Well done. Okay, we're releasing out. Whichever one we've done, we're releasing out. We're going to slide back onto our front. So we've got that lovely long left side. It's going to help us step the left leg forward. So we're going to come back, hands by the floating ribs, and we're going to lift up, tuck the toes under and come into downward dog. So let's change things around a little bit because we know we've got this lovely left side now. So let's take the left leg into three-legged dog. Feel that extension through the left leg, and then see if we can bring the left knee into the chest on the exhale. Keep going forward with the crown of the head, and then gently try and step that left foot through. So you're back into that runner lunge position. Again, help it through if you didn't want to do that, but you might find it's a little bit softer. From this position, we're going to take a standing split. So I'm going to take my fingertips forward, lengthen my chest forward and lift my right leg out behind me. Oh, sometimes called standing stick. So either you can stay with this, or you can keep the arms where they are and start to move the forehead towards the left shin. I'm not even going to get you to balance in this. I just want you to lengthen out through the left heel and lift up through the left sit bone. Then from there, you're going to slide the right foot to join the left. Slide the fingertips back to Ardha Uttanasana. Full Uttanasana. Check out the left side. Be much softer than the right. And then breathing in, swoop the arms all the way out to the side. Palms together overhead. And as you exhale, slide the hands down in front of the heart. Couple of breaths. Good. So let's take left side. Soften into the knees. Take that tail between the legs into that kitten position and open up through the front of the body. As you exhale, fall forward, clasping the hands behind the back, you know the score. Really enjoy that release of the head. Inhale, bending the knees, fingertips to the floor, the left leg's going to step back, drop the knee to the floor, and then take it up into crescent lunge. From crescent lunge, open the arms into a T position. Turn and twist to the right. Bring the right hand onto the hips and then do like a stop the bus position, moving forward with the left arm. Once you've gone as far forward as you can, see if you can slide that left arm outside of the right leg. Now you can either keep it bent so that you can bring the palms of the hands together, or you can keep it straight. It's up to you. But you want to be trying to move the left side of the ribs around to the right. Now, if you feel you've got enough stability, can you invite weight into the ball of the right foot, tuck the back toes under, and without putting the hands down, bring yourself into twisting, side angle stretch with the back knee off the floor. Don't worry if you can't, any other alternatives are great. Or you can keep the knee on the floor, it's absolutely fine, it's the same movement. Eventually sliding the hands either side of the right foot and stepping back into downward facing dog. So your choice now, cat, melting heart, or plank, 8 point. Knees, chest, chin. Okay, so from whichever position you've chosen, gracefully slide onto your front, rest the head on the hands. Now you know here that we're going to do some form of quad stretch, so the first stage will be just to keep the bottom with the heels, alternate, and then take the right leg, heel to bottom, maybe reach the right arm out to help it. Or if you want to do the full version, with both legs extended, press into the hands, slide the elbows underneath the shoulders, and then from here, spin on the left elbow so the fingertips point to the right, bend the right heel towards the bottom, and then reach the right hand to take a hold of the right foot, ankle, or anything you can get a hold of. Stretching out, lengthening with the front of back quad, fingers crossed. There's no C-ramp in there. Looking lovely. Okay, from there, inhaling, releasing that back leg. Just coming back onto your tummies again. Having a little rock from side to side with the hips. It would be just churlish not to add in a bit of Sphinx anyway. But what we're going to do first, before we do it, tuck the left toes under, reach through the left heels, keep the toes on the floor, and let the left knee and thigh come off the floor. Remember, this is a really good way to release the lower back problem. If you've got, you know, when I say that, I'm not being churlish about lower back issues, but if you've been out gardening or running and your lower back's a little bit achy, this is a great thing to do. Okay, release that left leg. Do the same on the right. Just gives you a sense of relief at the front of the hip flexor, which will release into the sacrum and the lumbar spine. Now I'm going to add one more teensy-weensy challenge in here. So as you release the toes, soften into the front of the quads a little bit before pressing into the hands and sliding the elbows underneath the shoulders for Sphinx. I'm spreading through my fingertips. I'm lengthening my top chest, and I'm not letting my feet roll out to the side because I want to have the imaginary brick in between my thighs. As I relax back down to the floor, I've got an alternative thought as I come out. So I'm just going to release back down to the floor. Now, you might want to watch me at this point. I'm going to try and get my hands as far back towards my waist as I can. so that my elbows are leading, but they're also drawing towards the midline. As I send my elbows back, I'm going to find my head, neck and shoulders are drawn off the floor, and I might be able just to lift up through a kind of up-facing dog. And then as I exhale, I can tuck the toes under, bring the bottom to the heels and peel up into downward facing dog. Just a nice little add-on if you want to do that. Okay, little bit of walk in the dog. Now we've lengthened into the right side this time, so we're going to take three-legged dog, right leg lifts, lead with the heel, really extend from the heel all the way to the left side of the shoulder, and let's see if we can create this smooth exhale, rolling forward with the crown of the head, pushing off of the left feet, knee to chest, and then quietly step the foot through. From there, you're ready to take your standing split position. So just move the fingertips forward a little bit, invite the weight into the ball of the right foot, and then peel yourself into that standing stick. So the left leg is out behind. I'm going to come out of it so I can look at you. What you're going to do is have a little look at your shin, maybe. Or stay with the chest lengthened, your choice. Excellent. Okay, and then from there, in that smooth flowing movement, you're going to step the left foot next to the right foot, slide the fingertips back to the toes, and as you exhale, take your lovely Uttanasana. Bending into the knees, swooping the arms up behind, gazing up to the thumbs as you finish that second round. Slide the hands down in front of the heart, and then again, just feel that you can almost release the energy down into the feet, almost as if you're aware of being glued to the floor. You can even do a little weeble, yeah, you know, when you're kind of moving around with the upper body, but you're not changing the relationship of the feet to the floor. So you can do a few weebles in one direction and a few in the opposite direction. You don't have to have the hands in prayer. I just find it gives me a little bit of stability, something to do with my hands. Okay, I'm easing back to the center. I'm taking a couple of breaths. I'm just going to take one more of those heel releases. So I'm going to lift up onto the balls of my feet. I'm going to go down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to end up back on the floor. So I wonder how we feel about doing this with a bent knee, as if we're going into a squat. Now I know some of you will say that's not possible with my knees. If that's you, don't worry. Just come down to sitting in whatever way feels comfortable. But I'm just going to lift onto the balls of my feet here. Now instead of lowering my heels, I'm going to keep my heels lifted, and I'm going to slowly start to bend my knees. So I'm just sliding down. You can use your arms just to keep you balanced. Slowly easing down till you end up in this heel lifted squat. Okay, I'm going to bring my fingertips to the floor, and then if possible, well, I want it to be possible, safely take your arms behind you and ease your way back onto your bottom. Now that could just be because I've got short legs, that I can do that. So we're going to go back, I'm going to test out my theory. So I'm swooping my arms out, behind me. It's going to lower me all the way into a full body extension. Then from here, I'm going to bring my arms up alongside of the ears and I'm going to reach all the way through my left side. Yeah, remember our aim is to try and get this length through the side body. And then I'm going to reach all the way through my right side. Climbing the cosmic ladder. Next time I reach through my left side, I'm going to slide my right heel towards my bottom. And then I'm going to reach into the ball of the foot and then slide the right knee to the chest. Yeah, we're going to take that osteopath again. I'm just going to give my little ankle a circle while it's there. Just going to allow my back to release a little bit and then in the opposite direction. And I'm going to place the right foot onto the left thigh. I'm going to guide my right leg across the body, bring my right arm and shoulder to the floor. You know what we did. Osteopath twist. Now I'm going to keep this sense of lengthening. So I'm just going to bring my right arm into a V shape alongside of my ear. I'm going to keep it there and then I'm going to slide my left heel towards my bottom. Or maybe hitch it a little bit if you've got a very sticky mat. Once I've hitched it as close to the bottom as I can, I'm going to slide that right arm down and see if I can magically now get the right hand and the left foot to meet. For those of you that already could meet the foot, I don't know, how far can you walk your right hand up your left shin or calf? Just saying. Just trying to get a little bit of an increase in movement for everybody. It's a lovely comparison to where you were at the beginning of the practice compared to now. Well done. Release. Release that left leg. Slide back all the way onto your back. Take it easy. Give yourself a lovely full body stretch again, checking out the difference, left to right side. Then from there, you're going to reach into the right side, right fingers, right ball of the foot or right toes, and then the left side. Good. Right side. Okay, this time as you reach through the right side, slide the left heel towards the sit bone. Reach into the ball of the left foot and then slide the left knee to the chest. Place the left foot onto the right thigh, slide the left arm out in line with the shoulder and guide the left leg over to the right. So we're adding in a V shape alongside of the ear with the left arm. Softening into that left shoulder and the left side of the body. Then we're going to slowly slide the right foot or the right heel towards the sit bones. Give it a few seconds, lengthening fully through the left side of the body, softening into the armpit and into the side ribs. So again, gaining as much from the earth as you can. And then slide that left arm all the way down to the foot. Hopefully you might have got a little bit closer. Again, if you already could reach for the foot, try for the shin or the calf or the ankle. Take it perhaps that one step deeper. Again, never force or pushing. And from there, well done. Going to ease and release the right foot. Slide all the way onto the back. Okay, this time I'm easing into semi-supine. I'm going to again just let the back soften. So when we're doing these practices, especially with the earth, we want to spend a little bit of time getting back into that nourishment, that stability, softening, surrendering. And then when you feel that you've surrendered that lower back, then by all means, draw the knees into the chest, have a little rock from side to side, or circle the legs together in the air so you can massage out that lumbar spine. From this position, I am going to finish my practice going from an internal hip rotation to Shavasana. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to do that. If you want to pop on any warm clothes, please feel free to do so. I'm going to just roll over to my side so that I can reach for my brick without disturbing all the good stuff I've done to my back. I'm going to roll back onto my back, bring my feet to the floor. Again, this is optional. I'm just popping the brick between my knees and I'm heel toeing the feet wider than the hips so that the toes are turning in and the heels are turning out. So I've done this for a while. So again, quite often I get asked, should I have the whole of the back on the floor in Shavasana? And it's impossible to answer that question because everybody's back is different. Everybody's spine is different. When you're in an internal hip rotation, you are more likely to be able to release the back of your waist to the floor than you will be in Shavasana, because as soon as you take the legs into extension, as we've noticed, it changes the relationship of the pelvis to the floor. So I would say, if you're aiming to get the whole of the back to the floor, you are much more likely to do it in this position or in semi-supine. But there are some people that may never do it. There are some people that do it without even thinking. So I'm going to get you just to keep in this position if you're happy here. Allow the back of the waist to surrender. That doesn't mean you're pressing it down, just means you're releasing it. Feel that you can allow the eyes to be heavy and relaxed. The lips to soften. And to gently relax the tongue in the base of the mat. Now you may find that you are breathing into the lower part of the belly by default, or you may not. So it doesn't matter. Just want you to notice where you feel the breath moving into the body. Of course, at any point, feeling free to extend the legs into Shavasana, but don't keep the back forced to the floor. Chances are, when you go to Shavasana, there'll be a little bit of lift at the back of the waist because of the pelvis having to adjust to let the legs straighten. And for some people, that's absolutely fine. And their backs are very happy with that. For others, their backs will say, don't want to do that. So please feel free to be communicating with your body, listening and adjusting as required. Now you may feel quite heavy in your relaxation. That's this sense of feeling grounded and nourished by the earth. And what I'd like you to do is every time you breathe in, I want you to breathe in energy, space. And every time you breathe out, I want you to breathe out into stability, into, heaviness is the wrong word, into nourishment, into surrender. So breathing in to energy, to softness, breathing out to surrender. Allowing your body to soak up all the benefits of the earth element. So interesting, the earth element is very passive. It represents security, solidness, foundation, stability, grounding, and permanence. Now you can use these techniques. I mean, the moment you're using them on your mat, in Shavasana or semi-supine or whatever you're doing for your relaxation. But you can transfer this to your everyday life. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, worried, you can stand, be aware of your feet permanently, nourishing from the floor, from the earth. You can lie down, a big expanse of your body when you're lying down, taking this sense of nourishment and stability from the earth. Or of course, as we've said lots of times, if you're sitting so the spine is lengthening and keeping the feet grounded. And there's lots of talk in the media about, grounding by going out and walking in nature, so barefoot, sand, grass, mud. All of that is about this sense of connecting to the earth element. before we complete our practice this evening, whatever position you're in, I just want you to ease yourself back into semi-supine. So the other earthing position that is really effective, and we're just going to do this as a temporary, but we're just going to gently slide the knees to the chest, one at a time or both together, depending on how you feel. And then we're going to take, well, it's legs up the wall. We haven't got a wall because I'm not going to get you to move to a wall. But of course, this is another strong earth centering position. So again, feel that with the legs into extension, or if you had your knees bent and the feet on a wall or on a chair, that you would be really grounding into the back of the body. This expands the back of the ribs, the back of the waist and the shoulders on the floor. Well done. Slide the knees back to the chest if you haven't already. Take whatever you need, if a rock or a circle in the air with the knees. And then just roll yourself over into the fetal position. Any side will do. And then pressing through the hand so you can ease yourself back into sitting. And even as you bring yourself to sitting, can you move from that disturbance, from coming out from the floor, into connectedness in your seated position? Just takes a few seconds to feel that change. Well done. From there, as we complete our practice tonight, let's gather the energy around us, gazing up to the thumbs. And as we exhale, seal the practice down through the third eye, to the lips and the throat, and to the heart. Namaste. From this position, give yourself a lovely round of applause. I'm just going to stop my little recording here.